Hello Collective, happy Sunday, 7/17/2022. So that's a 3, it's your Holy Trinity. Ezekiel 37, dry bones. Asked the prophet Elijah to speak to the bones, gave those bones life. That's what I feel like. You're in this valley of dry bones. You made this crucial decision to leave people behind that weren't in your best interest. It's a lot of Saturn, you know, that planet. You get what you deserve. Saturn's all about that. And it goes so slow that you get all these like aftershock waves of Saturn kind of hitting your life, reminding you maybe the karmic called, or you saw the karmic or what have you, and you're reminded of what you left behind, and it kind of triggers a little bit inside. That's totally natural because these planets move so slow. And in the process, Pluto like chirped up and said, I may have debris and blockage blocking me in space right now, but I am doing everything I can to send you that transformation, that energy for you to transform. Because although Saturn made this stop, and it's in retrograde, it's going to be in retrograde till October 22nd of this year. That's when it goes direct. So all this is past stuff that you kind of pieced together and said, okay, look, I got to let it go. It's not helping me, it's hurting me. Pluto's trying really hard to get that light to you to transform so you ascend, and most of you have ascended. If you have children with the karmic, you remember that 50% of them is made up of an ascended soul, okay? So it's not up to you to sway them to, well, why aren't we talking to this person, or why aren't we, they have it inside of themselves to follow the stronger power, and the stronger power is what's ascended. That's you, collective. So yeah, for all of you with children, Alexa, play All the Gold. So yeah, it's a really magical time. And of course Uranus is up there in Taurus, and it's the lightning bolt. So when it hits, you're gonna see the light, and then lightning goes away and you're in the dark again. So you're getting these little like triggers of light, but then it's dark again. But you remember what you saw when it was lit up, and so you're like, okay, I'm not going back. I can't go back. There's no way, because what I saw was so powerful. Your karmics are gonna try and basically stop you from moving forward and doing your life's purpose. And one of the ways that they do that is through delay and conflict, confusion around you. Maybe some of you collective have been under a hex for several years, and you're just trying to release that hex because you still have remnants of this shame that they put on you. And I just got this NASA shirt. So I changed the little anagram. No anymore shame anymore. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, not in shame anymore. And this shirt kind of reminded me of that. Like, no, I'm not going to walk in that shame anymore. I'm not shitbird. I'm not going to like join that club anymore, because that's what they wanted you to walk in, is all this shame. So that you couldn't move forward, so that you wouldn't have the glory of what you're truly called to do. So yeah, just give yourself some credit. I feel like you didn't just take down one karmic, you took down like a coven of them. And of course they work together during this moon to really bring you sickness and ill ease. And it's not you, and you have to recognize it right away, like, oh, this is an attack. This is an attack. So cards, I want to make sure that we're pulling cards for the collective and what the collective needs to know right now to stay this course, because there's a lot of obstacles in this course. Yeah, so if you get a judgment card that's upside down, like if you read cards for yourself and you're like, oh my God, the judgment came upside down, nothing's going to happen. Judgment upside down is that your karmic hasn't had any self-awareness yet. They are unwilling to transform. Alexa, play Neil Diamond. They're not willing to ascend. So don't let that worry you in the self-interpretation of your cards. Just know that there's a lot of situations around you that they feel that there's a shift, a changing of the guard, like this power shift, but they're not willing to step into it yet. That's a good one. So no fear if your judgment is upside down when you're reading your own cards, or if the world card, and I've noticed this a lot with the readings, very seldom has that world card, that cycle card, come up upside down. So the cycle has been completed and they can't stop that. So that's good too. But just, I guess, give yourself some credit, collective, that these things that you've let go of, you know, this process, these are very slow-moving planets. It's not like Mercury with the little tennis shoes on, racing the racetrack that moves really quickly. Saturn is a slow-moving planet, and so is Uranus. So, you know, October may be a time where things become more clear when Saturn is direct. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. But in the meantime, you have to stay the course and do what's right, because it is the planet of you get what you deserve. So it is still evaluating what efforts you're making at this time. And these difficult things that you've had to let go of, they're not easy. But these people didn't have the best interest for you. You should be your own boss right now. You should really be setting your own schedule and your own clock for what's right for you, what's gonna benefit you. I feel like you made yourself less important than your surroundings before this chain of events, and it's so important to put yourself like, I'm just as important as my environment, like, because you didn't give yourself that importance, they took advantage of that, and that's where you lost your power and your strength and your voice. So we're finding your voice again. That's what we're doing with all these readings. Like, this is my voice, this is my path, and you can't take it away, you can't delay it, and stay that course. That one wanted to talk. Yeah, I thought a lot about the hate involved with this hex, and I thought, gosh, you know, what kind of hate is this? And I thought a lot about Satan, you know, kind of pursuing Jesus in the wilderness. And, you know, Satan was supposed to have that position until he got kicked out of heaven. He was supposed to be the Jesus. He was supposed to be the one that all the glory went to. So even though at one point they were on the same team, it didn't matter, because Satan just looked at it like, you just took over my glory. So that's why your karmic won't let go of you, is because you're stealing the sun all of a sudden. You're switching it up. It's upside down for them, and so they don't like that. But you aren't going to be let go of. Like, this is your journey, and it can't be stopped, you know. So in the middle of the reading, I have this Ten of Swords. So I really believe that that's in your environment. There's a lot of people that didn't make the decision to ascend, or didn't make the decision to evaluate and look at the karma and look at what their choices were and make better choices. So of course that's painful. So that's the Ten of Swords. And what's crossing that energy right now is somebody waiting, because they're honestly thinking it's going to switch back. They're thinking, oh, this is just a Neptune like nightmare I'm in. This has got to go back to normal. It can't go back to normal because of what's been revealed. Like, what you've done is completely against a lot of these situations. They chose a chosen one to come after, a person that had the light, and they can't do it. They can't just put out the light again. It's already been shown that, oh wow, this person, it does have value. This person has worth. So it can't go back to the way it was. So they're sitting like this and they're waiting. They're waiting for it to go back. Yeah, right? In your subconscious there is a celebration. There's just celebration of you, your voice, what you've come up with, and through the readings and through the different revelations. And Spirit did give me a dream. He gave me a dream of like these keys dropping from the sky, but they were really heavy keys. They were like skeleton keys. And if I didn't catch that, it was going to hit me in the head kind of thing. So it's almost like keep looking up and keep listening to your ancestors, and make sure you catch those things, because there's some of them are so fleeting. Like some of these visions and things that I get, like I got one the other day, like everything you touch turns to gold. But it was so fleeting. I thought, well, is that really from Spirit? But you have to trust that first thought that comes into your mind, especially with your intuition. Don't undervalue it, because the other day I went to go to my workplace, and there was somebody in their car, sleeping in their car with their phone, and as soon as I pulled up, they got out of the car and started looking. I'm like, what is that person doing? So I didn't even go into the workplace. I just put my stuff back in my car, and I called him. I'm like, dude, there was some guy outside your house with a phone, and I don't know who that person was, because my first thought was they're either videotaping me or gonna destroy my car. Like, I didn't know, but it didn't make sense to me. So if something doesn't make sense to you, trust it and just put the car in reverse. They don't expect you to do that. You've been so loyal that they just expect you to follow through. But not anymore. It's not the money or whatever, it's not worth it, okay? Because you've got to trust that first instinct, like, this just doesn't feel right. Whether it comes to your kids or your home or where you're going through the day, those ravens will fly in front of your car, and you know, okay, this is a karmic moment. I'm gonna pull in somewhere, and I'm gonna have to have like the 360. I'm gonna have to have that owl kind of like radar about myself to get through this moment, because time really slows down. That's how Spirit speaks to you, is time will literally slow down so that you are tuned in to what's going on around you. And it just seems so small and insignificant, but it's not, because they're watching every action that you do and what choices you make. And you're gonna surprise them. You're gonna go a different way. So in the front of your consciousness is this person, this stable person with a message, because you may not be in the you've seen it through Spirit, but you haven't been maybe on the 3D been told about some of the things that have been going on around you that you've just decided to like not be a part of. There's probably been a lot of things happening to your karmics that you do not know, and you don't care to know until you get the information from someone that's reliable, because they could tell you anything. They could try and make you switch teams again and say, oh, well, so-and-so has cancer, or so-and-so, just to make you like, oh God, what have I been doing? I've been neglecting. No, you've been doing what's right. You've been staying away from that energy because it wants to shame you. It wants you in that light where you're not worthy to be on our team kind of light. I'm like, whoa, yo. I'm the healer, okay? I'm the team. And you say that to yourself because you are the power. They're going to do anything in their strength and might, through hexes, through conflict confusion spells, to get you to go back and think, oh, what have I done? When you let go of something that you should have let go of many, many, many years ago. You got this Ace of Cups. That's just your love of self. This is what I'm reading from this card. It's just loving yourself, giving yourself a little credit. Because again, you didn't take down just one karmic situation. You walked Saturn too. You knew that Saturn was going to judge you on your actions. So I feel like your actions were correct, okay, and their actions weren't. And so you have to love yourself for that, because regardless of what happened during that and what choices were made, you did what was right for you, and you have a love of self to carry you through this very difficult time, because you still maybe haven't heard from anything to validate anything, but you know that you know that you know through just your experiences that what was said and done to you was completely corrupt. And you're moving toward probably continuing the journey away from these cups. These people may have been very loving in your life, but you have to continue the way away from them. They're not going to encourage your tarot. They're not going to encourage you looking at the planets. They're not going to encourage you using your gifts. They're going to, hey, come back and be like us, and so that we can see. This is the thing. Saturn, when he did all this and he revealed this to you in retrograde, he said, you know, you've been this little victim in Sherlock Holmes's mysteries. And I looked up a couple of his mysteries. Like, he had The Adventure of the Crooked Man, The Adventure of the Resident Patient, A Case of Identity. These are all Sherlock Holmes mysteries, and you were the victim in this mystery. But now all of a sudden, Pluto came along and said, I got you the little tweed hat, I got you the little pipe, because now we're giving you the Sherlock role. You're gonna be Sherlock now. That's what happened, okay? So now you don't have to be the victim anymore, okay? And you're the Sherlock. And it's kind of cool because you like the hat and you like the pipe, and you're kind of in charge of the adventures. So that's pretty remarkable. Even though you've never been in that role, that's what Spirit's asking you to do. Like, okay, now these are your adventures. So you choose what's best and use with what information you do have, because you don't have all the information yet. So there is this celebration, this Three of Cups, and I'm just gonna see if it's like a lower vibration celebration, like maybe they avoided some kind of punishment of some sort, or some kind of, and maybe that's them, your karmic celebrating, because they, you know, until October, it's gonna flip-flop. Does that make sense? Like, you're gonna get these waves of like, oh, I did what was right, and then you're gonna feel like, oh, maybe I did what was wrong. You're gonna question yourself. That's completely normal. You just have to stay the course and realize, God, they really do not want me to speak, do they? So this celebration this has the Ten of Cups in it. So it is about family and stability. And somebody's upset at this celebration. So I would assume this is your celebration, collective, that you are getting closer to this Ten of Cups happiness, this stability, and somebody's not very happy about it because they had to let go of this illusion, this lie that they had you, this little victim in this Sherlock mystery that, you know, you were the one on the bed that was curled up and died. And, you know, now you got the hat on and the pipe and you're like, yo, I'm gonna figure this out. So this person's not very happy about that. And yeah, you're not in shame anymore, NASA. You're not in shame anymore. However you want to, you know what I mean? It's like, no, asshole, shitbird, no more. I'm not in shame anymore. It's not going to work. Yo, I'm valuable to this planet, okay? I am a healer, and you're going to hear my story. It was an unusual story. It was not the normal story. There were people that should have been for me that weren't. There was hate there that was a little bit higher vibration than maybe hate can possibly be. But basically it's that Satan and Jesus thing. Of course Satan is always going to continuously attack Jesus because Jesus is the one that got the story. Jesus got we still read about Jesus today. That was supposed to be Satan, see? So they're not very happy about that. So because of that changing of the guard, you're going to get a lot of these attacks still. If something tells you not to go to a restaurant or something makes you uneasy when you go, don't stay there. Yesterday, I had to use a restroom in a restaurant, so I took my little girl in there, and I realized, I have to buy something because we're not patrons, we're just using their restroom. So I bought some nachos, brought them home. I was so sick the rest of the night, and I thought, that is so Spirit telling me, like, I gave you that vibe when you walked in that door. Why did you? Because I always feel like I have to do what's right. Like I have to be a patron here, I have to buy food instead of just asking, hey, can I use your restroom? They probably would have told me no, and then we would have had to get in the car and leave. And go miles down the road to find a restroom. But, you know, it was a convenience thing, and so I thought, oh, this will be fine. It's not always a convenience thing, and this is the quality of your life, collective, so just clue into those little things, because you want the rest of your day to be on your vibration and your control, not somebody else's. And that's how the Spirit tests you. Like, I know you want to do what's right, but at the same time, put you first. You're more important. Okay, my little girl has to go to the bathroom, so is it okay if we just use your bathroom and go home? And if they tell you no, they tell you no. This is how people see you. They see you as the star. That's your gifts. That's your gifts that you decided that you were going to invest the love into yourself, because you've been leaving it to these people that didn't invest in you. They questioned you, second guessed you. Your worth. You weren't worthy enough. And a lot of that had to do with your inner energy, because you accepted that. If someone has to bear the shame, I'll bear the shame. But no more. Okay, I'm just as valuable as you. I have just as much voice as you. And I actually happen to have some gifts. Believe it or freaking not, I do. And then this is the work in your hopes and your dreams. You know that you're going to have to put the work in. You know that you're going to have to put the work in during this time before Saturn is direct again. Because this is the evaluation period from July until October. Like, we know that we didn't give you all the information, but did you still walk the right road, the right path? And that's exactly what you know. You know that you still have to walk correctly, even though it's really hard to use what you have. It's very limited, and you're just doing what you can to stay stable and keep your energy up, because this is a process. These planets move really slow. The good news is, because these planets are so big, this event that happened in your life, these are going to happen a lot. These ascension moments, because they're so big. It's not like a little planet like Venus or something. It's Saturn. So you get to have a lot of moments of ascension and revelation and thank God moments. Just as many as they're coming at you with, like, oh, remember where you came from, remember what you are, remember. Well, that's not who you are anymore. So you'll be reminded of it, but you have to remind them, this is who I am. And this is the outcome for the reading. You are going to be moving to calmer waters, collective. And it doesn't feel like that on a lazy Sunday afternoon when you're like, nothing's happening. It's 110 outside. I'm baking. 110. Be grateful for that, because it's getting rid of all those toxins when you go outside and sweat. It's getting rid of all that old stuff, that old DNA, that old stuff that you didn't need in your body anymore. It's healing you. And healing is just this long, long process. And I feel like to walk in your strength, you're going to need to do a lot of the work here in this 8 of coins, because it demands that you put the work in order to move to calmer waters. And this may just be you moving to calmer waters because you put the work in. You can feel it. I just wanted to ask the pendulum for collective if is justice coming for the collective? Is justice coming, this love, this cosmic order? I'm going to put this reading in one pile and do the pendulum over it, because for those of you that have lost hope, like because you haven't seen anything physical, I think it's really important that we know that we're on the right path. So this is for the higher vibration only. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Is collective gonna get justice? Yeah. Let's see. It moved on its own. I didn't touch it. We're gonna get justice. I love you, collective. You have an awesome Sunday, and just be well aware of those attacks, okay? You got this.